Hello, and a wonderful evening all here at the Luna and the Druid. And today's just a Druid. Happens more often. Um, yeah, Luna's on holiday this week, and it's just me in the chair. So we're continuing with what we started a while ago, a series, Start Reading Tarot Cards. I think we have about 7, 8 videos about that. And today we're taking taking it a bit further. We're going to not spend looking at individual cards, but more looking at cards in a spread. So how we read them together. You know, we some people believe that have to know all the cards individual before you can do a reading, and I disagree with that. You don't need to know all the meanings of all the cards all the time. In fact, you'll often learn tarot much faster by reading cards together than by studying them one at a time. So today's focus is on the humble, maybe humble, but very powerful 3-card spread. Why 3 cards? 1 card gives you a snapshot. Yeah, what do you have here? 8 of Wands. Yeah, a card about quick building, about pushing the bullet. It's a card that means rapid changes and everything. So rapid changes. Where do they come from? Where are they going to? What's the challenge here? And then the 2 cards, they create a relationship. So we can pull 2 cards. How do they work together? So the first card was what we're doing, and this is the result. And you can see we're working hard, we're working quickly, we're making big steps, progress. We're on fire, and the King of Coins says, "Okay, yes, that's because you're going to arrive somewhere. You're going to arrive in a financial stable situation, and but still, what's the story here?" We also have the Knight of Coins. So the King of Coins and the Knight of Coins. Rapid changes, quick changes. The King and the Knight, the King of Coins and the Knight of Coins. So we're seeing the quick changes or growth happens quicker when you work together. And we have two coins people. So 2 coins, meaning they're materialistic, they're healthy, they work. And so this is a story of quick growth by 2 people, although they're similar. They have a relationship, the King and the Knight of Coins, but the one is more of a master of stability, and the other one is more of a builder. And so an interesting that 3 cards, even without any preparation, just pulled off a pile, can create this story. So the single word has a meaning. 2 words create a context. Tarot works very much the same way. Don't read 3 separate cards, but read one story told through 3 cards. Of course, you can see that the story changes when we add more cards to the story. Is a 3-card spread for beginners only? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. We have a good example with the filmmaker, South American, I think he is. That's Alejandro Jodorowsky. He's known for a few very weird movies. You might want to look him up. Jodorowsky, his name is in the description of the video. Filmmakers, I think The Fountain. A few very strange movies to watch. But he was also a tarot teacher. an author of books. He also wrote a book about the tarot, specialized on reading the Tarot de Marseille, and he was a good, an established tarot reader. And you can look up some videos on this channel as well, where he does readings. And what do we see by this man? So enough tarot reader to write a book about the tarot that he sticks to 3 cards only. And not only does he just stick to 3 cards, most of the times he just uses the 22 major arcana cards. So a limited number of cards, a limited number of pull, and by reading the fabulous cards, he still turns it into something profound and interesting. So is the 3-card reading less than, for instance, a 10-card reading? I'm the man doing the 10-card readings. The Celtic Cross is my favorite reading method. No, not necessarily. A 3-card reading, especially when you want to look at a single, the whole topic, could just be enough to give you that. So it's the 3-card reading brings this simplicity. It's very focused. It brings clarity. There's no much space for ambiguity. If there is, sometimes you have cards that are contradicting to each other. In a 3-card spread, that's oftentimes way more evolutionary than contradictory. It focuses. It's clear where we're going. For instance, in the 3-card reading with the whole deck, sometimes one card jumps out as a major, and that's the focal point, and the other 2 cards can then be clarifications to create the story together. And with the 3 cards, so you avoid information overload. So, yeah, why do we use larger spreads then? Just because we can, because we love it. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just the way how you approach it. If you want to give a total overview, a wider perspective, more elements in the reading, or a more holistic view than a 10-card reading, or 15 or a 20-card, 24-card tableau, which they're all possibilities, is the way to go. But there's nothing wrong with the 3-card reading. When we think of learning the tarot, the 3-card reading is definitely the way to go. I know many people who say, yes, I'm doing single card readings only because, or I study 1 card a day, and I know over time I will know all the cards. Just remember then that the tarot deck has 78 cards. If you do 1 card a day, and sometimes you might skip a day because it's busy or overload or whatever, it will take you nearly 3 months to get through the deck. And if you studied the card 3 months ago, haven't looked at it for 3 months, I can tell you that unless it's very well anchored, like doing many years of tarot practice will anchor the cards in you. But if you just look at 1 card and look at it again in 3 months' time, you just have to start all over again. So my way of learning tarot, and I'm quite sure that, convinced that it's a working method, I always say, if you do 3 cards a day, you learn 9 times as fast. So 3 times 3 times as fast. Why? Because you're looking at an individual card. You're looking at a card in relation to another card, and you're looking at the card creating a mini story. And these mini stories, they give you the context in which your memory will memorize the cards better. To me, I remember the 20 years ago, 25 years ago already, when I started learning tarot, that I always did 3 cards a day. And my practice was doing 3 cards in the morning for the energy of the day. I had a specific one, the situations, the challenge, advice. or sometimes past, present, future. But I did 3 cards in the morning. Wrote a few notes about them. Looked up in the little white book what the meaning of the cards were, and then glued them together. And and in the evening I would look at the result and journal about what came out on that day. I can tell you that in a few months I knew a lot more about the tarot than I knew before. Tarot decks come with, they call them little white books. Well, this the alchemical tarot, which we're going to showcase today, has a little blue book, but the pages, of course, are all white. And most tarot decks come with a small book. This one has, how much? 16 pages or something. 24 pages altogether with the cover. And all the cards are in there. Sometimes little white books are a bit thicker. You have luxury decks that come with big books. If you have just one deck and you need one book, there's one I always recommend if you really want to learn the tarot. Holistic Tarot by Benewell Wen. It's nearly 1,000 pages, I think. How far are we? Nearly 900 pages. This will guide you from day one of your tarot practice all the way up to being a professional reader or more than just a hobby reader. Book comes with some additional materials from our website, so there's more or less a course there too. So yeah, definitely advisable to take that book with you and start doing the 3-card readings. Start working on your 3-card reading skills. And look who we have here tonight. I have some messages in the chat. Claire can't be here tonight. We had Claire a few weeks ago here for an interview, but we see the return. And I thought about you a lot, Iron Fire Horse, this week. Would you still come? And there you are, and leaving a comment. Welcome. And I know you're a tarot fanatic, so I know you're probably enjoying this episode of the Druid on its own. Welcome. What are we going to do? We're going to do a few 3-card readings, of course. We're going to practice a little. The most standard way of approaching the cards is 3 cards, 3 themes, or three positions in the reading. And the most common one of these is the past, present, and future reading. Past, present, future is a very well-known reading for this for the 3 cards. So the first card you pull represents the past. And what do we have? Ooh, we have the Tower. The Tower in the past. Yeah. So what does the Tower say about the past? Things have gone a bit bad. You can see that here in the card, things are about to explode. Things are about to get worse. Things are about to get fiery. So there's an element of things not working out too well, and the Tower says, okay, there's going to be a big change. There's going to be a big change. And then in the present, we have the 8 of Swords. So how do we connect the big changes with the 8 of Swords? The 8 of Swords, as you can see, the Manticore in the card is not completely free to move. There's 8 swords behind him, and he is chained to the ground. He doesn't know where to where to go. He's more or less trapped. So what do we see? So we see changes have happened in our lives, and we got stuck. We got trapped. And of course, that's the trapped card is representing the present. So are we trapped? And then of course comes the challenge of the present to become untrapped, and to know that although the swords in this card are in the background, in many tarot decks, the Eight of Swords, the swords are around the person. She's often blindfolded, so she can't see that she can just take, when she takes off her blindfold and freeze her arms, that she can just put the swords aside and walk out. So it's you're trapped, but it's a situation that you can change. And so in the present, we're looking at ways to untrap ourselves after we had a time of despair. So what does the future bring then? And for the future, we pull the Fool. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. All at once, we say, okay, we might have had a hard time. We freed ourselves. We overcame our mental blockades. We came out of the mental blockades, and the Fool represents a new beginning. A story I can relate to for myself. I'm this month I'm finishing a 19-year cycle, and 19 years ago I had a situation like this, where my life fell into shambles. I could say things weren't looking too great, because after my divorce and my business. In these times, my businesses I ran didn't do too well either, and I thought for the rest of my life, I'm going to be a mess. It's not going to be good. Not going to come okay with me, and for the rest of my life, I will be a prisoner of my own created jail, where everything is stuck, and well, I just have to sit with it and be passive and wait what's happening. Well, I didn't do that. I took a leap of faith. First thing was I moved away, dropped everything. I went for a whole summer, the summer of 2007, so 19 years ago. I went to Norway, recovered, came back. So I went on the road. I went on an untrodden path. So this is looking back at the reading, how it was 19 years ago. And I started a completely new life. And things have never been better than the past 19 years. And I can just say, year after year, my life is getting better. So, you see, there's a whole story there. 3 cards. And you see the theme of the reading, of going from misery in the past through a free breaking in the present into a new start in the future. And the future card comes naturally from the freedom. The Fool represents freedom, represents new beginnings. And so instead of simply looking at single cards, you see this whole 3 cards represent a part of my life story, and I'm quite sure that many of you will recognize this and say, okay, this story like that could have happened to me as well in my life, where things fell down. I thought it will never change, but it still did, you know. In the end, it's all good, and if it's not good yet, it's not the end yet. So that's an interesting way you can. And so what did I do? I read the cards. What do they present in a certain phase of my life? Jot that down. See how you progress. That can be in a single day, but also in a longer period of time, and have a past, present, future reading. Second reading, also a very popular, very really, it's a card that I would say is happening, is used a lot, a spread that's used a lot. That's a situation, a challenge, and the advice. So the situation card, the Ten of Wands. Well, the Ten of Wands, as you can see, the phoenix is rising from the ashes, but still get his bum burned. The Ten of Wands. When I get pull this card for someone, I say, okay, you take good care of yourself because you're at the risk of burning out. You're having a burnout probably, or in the phase of a burnout. Then the challenge, Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins to me often represents a message from a future self that says, you're working so hard. Now you're getting the combination. You're going through a challenge in, for instance, in work. Burnout has to do with work. Queen of Coins is usually a card that say, okay, that's saying, yes, you're manifesting growth. You're manifesting financial growth. You're manifesting health and clarity. Another aspect of this card is looking back from the future into the past and saying, yes, it's all okay. And then you already see a small story emerging, a small connection that, yes, you're working so hard. Maybe you're working so hard because you're so ambitious, or maybe there's so much pressure on you. Breathe, step into your power, because you're going to do fine. The challenge is to know, to understand, to get to comprehend that you can rise above the situation where you are trapped in this working environment or this living environment where you feel that you're taking on too much. As you can see, the Queen of Coins, she took off all her clothes, and her challenge is to free yourself from that and to believe, to have the faith that in the future it will go right anyway. When we go to the third card should give you the advice. So that's the roundup of the story. And the advice is the star. And the star really improves on the faith and the clarity that the Queen of Coins already has. And the star says, yes, this brings hope, this brings renewal, this brings it puts yourself into stardom mode. And now the whole story becomes, yes, you're in a situation where you're burning yourself out. Your challenge is to have faith that by offloading stuff, by not taking too much on, by letting go, by being vulnerable, by letting go, this will end. And the star says, the advice is trust and have faith in the universe. Trust and have faith in the star. Trust that you are a star yourself, and instead of being overburdened, you make yourself shine. Make yourself shine as a star. So there's a lovely story evolving there as well. So you see that this card on its own doesn't bring too much as a warning. This card also says, okay, can you take it on to let go of the burden, to let go even of your clothes. And then the star says, yes, I believe in it, and I will do this, and I'm going to do this. And so the star emerges from these two cards as having the confidence to step away from a situation that's not healthy, that's not serving you, in the belief that that you got this. And sometimes you don't know exactly how to do it, or what to do, or which steps to take. That's logical, and maybe you should take some coaching or advice there. But definitely the steps taking out of this situation, having the courage and the courage and the faith in again, it will all be good to overcome this. So how does this compare to this one, to the previous reading? So the story here was really about a collapse, freeing yourself up, that's and new beginnings. And here it is more of a situation that was overburdening, where the challenge was to let go of the burdens, to not carry that much anymore, the nakedness, and have faith and hope that everything will be good. So the three cards, 2x3 cards, both stories about overcoming difficulties, which is of course very much what you do as a reader, overcoming, or in a reading, overcoming difficulties. And way to go. So we have some chat comments. Let me see. Hello. Iron Firehorse, love the full card. Okay, it's all Iron Firehorse, and she says, I like the 3-card reading. Well, likewise, likewise, Irena. Lovely to see you, and lovely to have you here in my 3-card reading gig today. So we're gonna look at the third exercise, and that's also a very profound one, because we're going to look at ourselves from a holistic view. So the next 3 cards are mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. Okay. Interesting. We have the 3, 6, 9 of coins. We have the devil as the body, and we have the moon as spirit. All right. So what's happening in this reading? What's the mind about? The mind is focused on. The mind is focused on. You could say the mind is focused on the body in this reading, but you can also say the mind is focused on the coinage. So the mind is focused on the material side of things. The mind is focused on gain or growth. The 9 of coins is not the 10 of coins yet. The 10 of coins is being a wealthy person. The 9 of coins is the card that brings this ambition to the reading. So 9 of coins says, okay, you put your mind totally on ambition, on material growth, on possessing things, on owning things. A warning there, of course, is again looking very well at your mental, but also your physical health. This is a very physical card. So the mind is also on recovery and growth, and single card, single meaning. But the body is thinking of the devil, or the body is represented by the devil. And here we see how even the meaning of this card changes by the influence of this card, because the devil sometimes is good because the devil talks about liberation and freedom, but the body in this card is trapped. The body is trapped uh, by material gain, by by the by the ambition. So there is um, there. This says, okay, yes, the two together. We could say this is a card of a very, very ambitious card, where we sometimes do bad things, cheating, lying, in in order to reach material gain. So there's definitely these two cards here represent a mirror, in your life, a mirror that says, look in the mirror. What the fuck are you doing? You're spending all your time, you're spending all your power, you're spending the best years of your life on material growth, and should you do that? Must you do that? So, will spirit answer the question there? Well, we picked the moon for spirit, and the moon, of course, is one of the most spiritual cards in the deck. Again, a card with challenges. The moon has a dark side. The back of the head represents the dark side of the moon, and then the combination is that when we move on from not being our total selves, but being enveloped, being caught up, being trapped by our material gain, can we step onwards? Can we step into the mystery? Can we step, in the moon? The moon is also connected to the hermit and the high priestess. Can we go for can we follow our mind for introspection? Can we or can we follow a spirit for introspection? Can we follow our path to spiritual growth? So the spirit is already pointing, looking at a spiritual awakening, where the devilish influence on financial and societal and ambitious growth in a non-holistic, non-healthy way, is where the moon card asks you to step out of this dark night. And I always say, when the moon is out, when the moon is out, the sun is trying to come over the horizon in the east in the morning, and represents a big awakening. And that's where spirit is going for. So again, individual cards can tell a story. Individual cards can give you a small peek into the situation with 3 cards, and then the meanings from the book, sometimes some feedback afterwards. Like I say, do a reading like this in the morning, work with this the whole day, and see later in the evening. Take your journal. What did you write down in the morning, and what came out of your day after a reading like this? Have you, for instance, when you pull these cards in the morning, have you thought about where you are in your life right now? Are you enveloped? Are you taken by greed or material wishes? And can you step into this spiritual growth, in this spiritual awakening that the spirit asks of you? We look at it even at these cards, spirituality. The mind is often related to the swords cards, and the swords, in this case, represent the ego, and the ego combined with material wishes, with focusing too much on material growth, creates this devilish body that that is trapped in this ambition for for bigger, better, more and more. And then spirit brings the wish for spiritual growth, for deeper understanding, and for in this full moon that we had recently had, letting go of that and start anew again. Look at it from a different perspective, look at it from a holistic perspective. So interesting, don't you think? Interesting, don't you think? So, when you look at 3 cards, so remember what's happening in card 1, what's the change that card 2 brings, and where does card 3 lead you? And then you look for movement. So sometimes movement or direction, as you can see, the Fool has a direction. He wants to go in that direction. That's of course towards the future. We also have cards more looking at the past. So direction is important. Where are they going? Look at conflicts between the cards. Conflict between ambition and health, or the conflict between the burnout, the burnout and the star. Oh, now we have someone walking through my screen. Hello, Kitty. Hello. This is Felix. Hello, you're on camera, dear. Yes, hello. Up. There he goes. So look for conflict. Of course, after conflict, look for resolution. Look for personal growth. So sometimes even when a card like this comes in the future, say you're focusing too much on growth, but also you could say, okay, can you use some more ambition? It all depends on the position of the card. So where does it comes? Are there things that are repetitive or that complement each other? I would say the Queen of Coins and the Star, there's definitely a connection between the cards. Both ladies are bare naked, so yes. And do we sometimes see repeat in suits? Is it all swords cards, or is it all cups cards of the heart, or is it all the material world? That's how you look at these things. So like I said, it's not just fixing on the simple keyword or on the one few sentences in the book, but also give your own meaning to the cards. So free up your mind and try to connect the cards so they tell a coherent story from where you're at or where you come from to where you're going to. That's it. So yes, I invite you to at least for a week, but probably longer, at least maybe till you're finished, or maybe for as long as it takes. Pull 3 cards every day or 5 days a week. Make it a habit. Create a story. Write the story down. Do not look for perfect interpretations, because we're going to reflect later at the end of the day or the next day what happened and how what did I learn from what happened and the cards. How can I connect what has happened to what the cards have predicted, and that will teach you, that will free up your mind and bring you forward. So to wrap up, you don't need 10 cards. You don't need 20 cards. You don't need to memorize every meaning of every card. You can look at the cards and what the cards tell you themselves, or what the cards mean for you. You don't have to know every meaning quite perfectly, but What you need is practicing and to connect the cards and allowing them to bring out the story. So 3 cards, short story. Next time we'll continue this. I don't know when the next tarot class of Luna and the Druid will be, but practicing reading skills, we will continue with this. I really love this series and take another steps forward to beginning to become a confident tarot reader. Take the book, take the cards, play with them all the time. That's how you do it. Thank you for joining me. And I wish you many blessings. I wish you a good time. And looking forward to seeing you next week on Luna and the Druid. Goodbye.